A while back, I was reading about how Teresa suddenly got an idea. She was on her way back to the portal to pass through and on into her own valley in the Rio Grande when something struck her. And she got so excited, but, well, you're going to have to wait a while and read about that for yourself. Soon I'm going to be stopping these readings so you can read the story for yourself, get in on some really exciting and surprising reveals and mysteries and so on, but a little bit longer. Now, very last time, we had an interruption of old Don kind of waking up. He had fallen asleep while Nursite was reading the story. And he was exactly on the wrong side of the bed when he woke up, and they got into a little bit of a discussion, and some pretty hard words were used there, especially by Don. And I skipped over that because I've been trying to keep this fairly family friendly. But you might want to read that for yourself. It's on pages 142 and 143, so you can get the real flavor of Don's kind of state of mind and his character, and how Nursite dealt with that, which you got a pretty good indication of last time. So now we're ready to go on to chapter 39, and this is where Nursite returns to a more recent story that happened just some time back, not too long ago. A little hard to tell how time passes in the Valle Abajo, when they had the Sorai Scarflu held captive down in no home, down in a deep hole. And of course, being a Sorai that loved the open air and so on, that was driving him crazy. So let's pick it up there on chapter 39. Oh, okay, Nursite said. Well, Scarflu, our captive Sorai, came around after being in a trance or delirium for hours. When we briefly recounted Teresa's story, he wasn't impressed, since their side of the story depicted her as a mutated, Perrault-looking pest who conveniently disappeared when the going got tough, much to the Sorai's delight. Scarflu reminded us we needed to get help or somehow escape our besieged no-home. More importantly, he indicated our own real hope was to destroy the Tower of Il Serrohe. Why would you want us to bring down the tower? Nark-Nose asked incredulously. He turned to Needle Eye and me. I smell a trap here. Fool us once, but not again. Scarflu sighed and chanted a brief portion of that same litany. I want out of here. I will do anything to get out of here. You can kill me after I get outside. I just don't want to live down here anymore. And I certainly don't want to die here. To die on the open plain with my body to rot and mingle with the dust of the desert will at least leave my soul in peace. Our mouths must have been open down to our waist, because he got mad and started raving. You stupid little stinking Norman fools! I'll tell you anything. You have me in the worst possible circumstance. He sobbed the kind of sobs that reached down through the lungs to the very depths of his skinny gut. Needle Eye put his hand on Nark-Nose's shoulder. I think he means it. He doesn't strike me as a liar, not like this. This may be our golden opportunity. He turned to the disheveled Scarflu. Okay, you want to see the blue sky? Fine. Tell us how a few puny gnomon can bring down the mighty tower. With tremendous effort, Scarflu stifled his body-racking sobs. In turn, he looked deeply in each of our eyes. If you use me, and then leave me in this stink hole, may 1,000 drowning plagues curse you and your kind forever. We just looked back at him, but he went on. Okay, only send 2 or 3 people. They will be harder to see and can move quickly out of the tower's sight, even across the seared meadow. No one watches from the tower at night. The priests reside in a monastery west of it. You can pull the tower down and kill all who know of the time chant. I don't like killing, Nark-Nose stated. You must! A new tower could be built." "One thing at a time," Narkno says. "Now shut up, or you'll rot down here, alone if necessary." That shut up Scarflew instantly. Narknose brought both his hands up to scratch his chin in characteristic gnomon fashion. "How can 2 or 3 gnomon bring down that tower? It's bigger than Nohome." "Because of the time chant. The adobes are not mortared together with mud because it would dilute the chant's effects. So they are just set one on another, except every 10 rows there's a single layer of mud mortar. Otherwise the tower could be no higher. There are vertical timbers behind the wall to lend support, but a strong wind like the one all those years ago can bring it down. The wall could be pulled down once you get to the top, and pull from there with coils of hemp or something. The few layers of mud in the timbers would not withstand that kind of pressure." Narknose looked at us. "Needle Eye, you must go. Your wisdom and warrior experience is necessary." He looked at me. "And Nursite, you're small and strong. Get Nether Air, too. Her swiftness and ways with medicinal herbs are needed." I started to protest, but Narknose looked like his mind had been made up. Not much could be planned, for we're no good at that. Scarflew was pessimistic about our preparation, but he refrained from commenting since he figured our unpredictability could be an asset. He urged us to remain hidden during our approach. Either we were to approach in the dead of a moonless night or underground, as there were old tunnels near the tower built by a clan much like the Gnomon, who had lived there before the Sorais arrived at the edge of the valley. His final advice didn't make sense to me, but had to do with coils of hemp the Sorais usually left laying around the bottom of the tower. He explained it to Needle Eye, so I didn't pay attention. Scarflew put himself in a meditative trance, apparently to escape the horror of his circumstance. Further attempts to communicate with him were pointless. Perhaps if we came back alive, the Gnomon would free him, or if everyone just starved, he might live a little longer than us. We were sent off with the minimum of ceremony. The old grating covering the hidden tunnel down there in the Nohome exit was a task to remove, but after that it was an easy climb on a gentle incline. Soon, however, it narrowed, and we had to walk bent over double. At that point, it was no longer glassed in, and the dirt coated us with a thick, gritty film. Then it became a matter of crawling, holding our wobbly candles in front of us. The walls closed in so much that even Nether Air had to crawl on her stomach. No longer able to hold the candles, it was with apprehension that we put them out and felt our way with our hands. The absolute darkness weighed heavily, and we were even afraid of small talk. We communicated only when necessary to prevent loss of control and cries of despair. The confining womb of black sand, black air, and the rising floor threatened to lock us in its horror. We feared being unable to move or expand our chest to breathe, worried we would die long, dark deaths of claustrophobic terror. Luckily, we were always just short of that awful possibility. "Move slower, young ones," Needle Eye said, his voice swallowed by the thick blackness as soon as he spoke. I can't slow down because Nursite, you'll get stuck never to move again." Why did he have to say that? Nether Air, slow down. What? Her voice barely audible. Slow down. Needle Eye can't keep up. Okay. I reached ahead and touched her foot for reassurance. "What's that?" she screamed. "Just me," I said apologetically. "Don't do that. The touch of anything is just too much. It could be the top caving in," she gasped in return. We continued with only the muted sound of our grunting and scraping sand aside as we pushed it under us or bumped the ceiling a mere handbreadth above our prone bodies. Finally, I reached out and encountered something hard and damp. A root. We were nearing the edge of the forest. But it was no blessing. Wynne knew the ancient shaft had been clear, but now it was interlaced with roots that had grown through and across its gap. Nether air passed easily through the roots in the passage, but Needle and I had to go slowly to avoid becoming stuck. It happened anyway. I twisted to my left to try to inch along on my left hip and shoulder past a tangle of younger roots, but at the narrowest junction, my right hip touched the ceiling. I was stopped. Oh, by the wood and sky most high, I'm stuck. Oh, man. Whoa. Guess we're going to have to leave poor Nursite stuck there in that tunnel, but not for very long, so until the next time, bye.